Hello, this is Bill McCray, and I'm going to talk to you about being in the solo ad business, a little bit about the math of how it works, and then how I've done it so that I can make money doing that. First of all, you got to look at your cost per lead, or CPL. It's the price you pay to get a lead on your list. Now, when I say a lead, I mean a list member. When I say data, I mean a list member. All these things are contained in what's called an autoresponder, which allows you to send out email. I could spend hours talking about different autoresponders and what the best ways to do, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, so the math is really simple on how to figure out your cost per lead. You just take what you paid, divide it by the number of leads you generate. Now, I'm going to give you best case scenarios here. You're not going to do this, but just to make math easier, I'm going to go ahead and do this. So let's say you spend 50 cents a click. You probably get it cheaper. There's also different prices, but we'll kind of go through some of those variables here in a little bit. And let's say you just happen to have a really good web form and you get a 50% conversion rate. So you're going to generate 50 leads. $50 for 50 leads, that's $1 per lead. So you see how that works? Very simple. You calculate your cost per lead because that's the important number, the single most important number people think you need, but the fact is you really need to pay attention to what's called cost per engaged lead. We'll go over that in a little bit. In 2010, I was buying pay-per-click ads from Google and other sources, and I was thrilled to generate leads at a buck per click all day long. But most of the time, it ends up costing me $2 to $3 per lead. Even that was all right for a little while. Then the solo ad market began, and it was really great because I was paying anywhere from 90 cents to $1.10 per lead. And it was new, and not everyone was on everyone else's solo ad list, so I was really quite happy with that because the leads were very open and engaged, and they would buy my products. The problem was that all these solo ad vendors started buying solo ads from other solo ad providers to build their email lists. Thus, if you went and bought a solo ad from A, B, and C, there would be the same leads on them. These leads or list members would be getting emails constantly, and thus, everyone's same leads. The whole effectiveness of those leads in my sales funnel dropped very, very, very far. Okay, now let's say you want to sell your clicks. Okay, which is 90% of my business is selling clicks. I know how to sell solo ads. I've been doing it for years, and I do very good with it. So if you're lucky and you send out an email related to some BizUp, you'll probably generate about an 8% click-through rate. Some people might say they get 40%. Now, don't be confused between open rate and click-through rate. Your open rates could be 40% and only 1% will click through, or it could be 40% and 10% will click through. Your CTR is the number of people that actually open, which is being engaged, and taking action. Opened is being engaged, taking action is this click-through rate, okay? So if you have 500 clicks to deliver to a customer, you're going to need, if you got an 8% click-through rate, an email list of about 6,250 list members. Okay, now the reason why that is because only about 40% will probably, only about 8% will ever click. So remember that to build this list in the best case, and you're getting $1 per lead, it's $6,250 to build your list. Now, you might have made money in the process of building a list, or you might not have. But regardless, let's say you sell 500 clicks, you're going to generate an income of $200 or 40 cents per click. Now, you might get 50, you might get 60. Prices vary in the market. I see people selling it for 30 cents a click. The average list member will remain on your list probably about 60 days, and maybe they'll click on 10 links that you email. So you'll make a total of $4 from that list member. So you think, well, that's not bad. It only cost me $1 to generate that lead, so I'm making $3 per list member. Actually, it's no good because only about 40% of your total list will ever open, engage on any emails, let alone click on it. So you've spent a lot more generating what we call engaged leads. So it gets a lot worse. So if only 40% ever open an email, then your cost per engaged lead is $2.50. So if you have 100 leads and only 40 of them ever open an email, that means your cost per lead is $2.50. So you're still making money, but nowhere near as profitable as you'd hope. And you find that you have to keep your list viable because your list members disappear. Now, I said 60 days, but if you're doing solo ads and you're doing them really hard and you're pushing for clicks, you're using deceptive techniques to get people to open and click emails, your list members will disappear a lot quicker. So you're going to need to spend 50 to 75% of all of your income just to maintain your list so you have something to sell. So let's say you're grossing $10,000 a month in solo ads, which is actually not hard to do. Your take-home pay would probably only be $2,500 to $5,000 a month. And if that's what you want to do, and you're willing to invest $6,000, $7,000 to build the list, that's great. Go for it. So let's do a little bit more math so you understand. You're probably not going to get a 50% conversion rate. But let's say you got a 40% conversion rate and you paid 45 cents. That's 45 divided by 40, which is $1.12 per lead. Now, your engaged lead is going to be 40% of that. Let's say you paid 35 cents per click. That's a better price, but you only had a 30% conversion rate. Actually cost you $1.16 per lead. You can see why paying more might have been cheaper. Let's say you paid 55 cents per click, and this happens all the time, and you only get a 25% conversion rate. That's $2.25 per lead. This is typically what people experience. Oh wow, I got 25 to 40% conversion rate. That is people, list member, open list members. Okay? Some people do better than others, but any way you go, your lead cost is going to be over $1 per lead. Plus, you got to figure out your engagement rate. You're going to be well over 2.5, probably close to $3.50 per lead to get someone to open and click on it. So it's not very lucrative if you're only making about $4 per lead. So the solution is to join media buy groups. A media buy group is basically a pool of people that are buying traffic together to generate leads from ads that are being run on websites. These aren't email. This is literally the little ad you see like when you go to CNN or Fox News or any of those little websites that have the, keep looking at the picture of the actress, when you go from one page. Those are media buy ads that run all over there. So these are all syndicated. Our ads are syndicated using a service called Outbrain. And I can't tell you where the ads are. It's all done on the fly. It's like AdSense. Now, the ads that media buy groups are very generic. It's something about making money, opt in, and then the lead stays there. They're now in your autoresponder, but they don't actually see any of the contents of your thank you page. And in order for them to go through your sales funnel, you're going to have to do it via email. So as soon as you get a lead from a media buy group, you want to immediately email them. This is critical because people are registering from your web form using our generic ads. It doesn't have your name. It doesn't tell them what you're doing or anything. They know they're registered for something, but they don't know for who. Then the email shows up within seconds of them filling out the form. It says, "I'm Bill. Thank you for registering. I'll have some information about business opportunities in the next few days. Keep an eye out for my emails," or something. They'll know that, and they'll be looking and expecting to get your thing. Now, if you wait and email them a week later, you're going to go, "Who's this guy?" Because they won't remember, and I guarantee you they won't remember filling out the little ad on the website. It's the same problem with solo ads. You have to engage your list members instantly so they know who you are, okay? Do that, and you will have highly active, engaged, and fresh lead. Media buy leads are brand new. They don't know nothing about internet marketing. They're curious about making money online. They don't know how to build blogs. They don't know how to build, they don't know how to build lists. They don't know how to do really much of anything, but they want to make money. So this is a great time to sell business opportunities to them or start training them on how to build their own list or whatever. Okay, so that's the solution. But let me go through the cost for media buys. Now, to do media buys, you have to commit to, you can't buy 50 clicks. You're buying, to buy the way you need to buy to have the cost reasonable, you have to buy hundreds of thousands of clicks per day, okay? So, and to get the price right, you need to make sure that when that person clicks on our ad, they don't actually leave Fox News website or CNN News website or anyone else's website. They complete their process while still on the website so they can stay there. So this system is called a trap ad because it captures their lead, but the traffic is trapped by the original website. This allows us to buy this traffic at a huge discount because we've got volume, lots of volume. And we're doing this for a number of niches. What I'm recommending is for business opportunity, but they do this really heavily in the automotive industry and really heavily in the insurance business, these things online, okay? So you can buy traffic for about a tenth the cost as if you were to go to that website and place a pay-per-click ad, easily about 10%. That makes buying traffic cheap enough so the media group can sell you based on performance, not based on click. The price for leads in a media buy ends up being, for 1,000 leads, ends up being about 47.5 cents per lead. With the source traffic that we use right now. There's really no variances, there's no surprises. Every lead comes in at the same price. That's for 1,000 leads at a time. You email these leads immediately and you have a great open rate. I see open rates sometimes as high as 70%. It's always in the 30 to 60% range without complaints and very, very few bounces. Bounces is when the email goes and it just doesn't go into, there's no inbox when they arrive. We use a service called Bright Verify to make sure that the leads' email addresses are correct. It's not 100% perfect, but it's better than solo ads or anything else. Now, who should consider buying this sort of traffic? Well, if you're a list builder that sells solo ads, or you're smart enough to say, okay, I'm going to build a list and then market multiple products through email, which is really what I do. If you have a sales funnel with one item, then you're just saying, I'm going to sell blah, 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 and that's all I'm going to do. You're just really a complete fool. You're spending money on ads trying to sell that one item, and if you get that sale when they initially opt in, great. But most likely you're not, and then that list member is going to sit there, and unless you actively promote them, they're not going to buy anything. So you want to be promoting multiple items to this list members. Because when you're building a list, you're investing money, you're creating your own assets. So I sell my leads products for months. I just keep adding on to my autoresponder. New products are released at like JVZoo, and I'll add it in my autoresponder, and it'll come up and say, you want to send it to existing members? And I say, yes. I always get an order. So you just keep adding it on because the new leads coming in will see that email as well when they get to that point in the sequence. Now, business people buy all sorts of stuff. That I sell them blogging materials, list generation products, sometimes up to a year after they've opted into my list, because I keep adding on to my sequence and I'm letting the autoresponder do the job for me. I put leads into the front and then people go through the process and they buy. Okay, so how does all this work? You want to go to the website right here, activeleadspro.com, how it works, and you want to check out how a ad works and look at this carefully. And if you're interested in the solo ad pricing, that's the pricing for people who sell solo ads, just send me a message and I'll get you a link to